Alright, something that I have been waiting for and I have been desperately asking for is Marvel Rivals inspired stories. And we're getting an inspired story in the comics with Queen in Black, where Hela is the Null thing, and that comes straight from Rivals. To my knowledge, that comes straight from Rivals. Rivals did it first, but I I want the actual stories of Rival because there is an overarching story. There is tons of lore, and it's very interesting. If you don't already read it, I would suggest go to your favorite Marvel character and read theirs. I've read Doctor Strange. I've read some of the Fantastic Fours. I've read Spider-Man and Penny Parker's. Not your favorite to play, but your favorite Marvel character. It's genuinely good stuff. I've read all of Captain America's. These would make incredibly good comics or good TV shows. And I know you're thinking, oh, well, what about the Rivals comics that already exist? The problem with these, and I own almost all of them because I do like these stories. While I like these stories, they are Infinity Comics. And I do like Infinity Comics, but I only have one that tells the actual story of what happens in that season and the map. And that's a good story. I like it. There's another Infinity comic coming out soon. I'm waiting for the physical version to come out because I really like those. But King in Black also does that. But they're not taken as seriously, I would say. Like, imagine if instead of a one issue comic book that's an Infinity comic about the Hellfire Gala, it was instead a 5 issue series about this one season and this conflict, like a normal comic book arc is 4 or 5 books, and it was just genuinely peak, and it was allowed to be much more grittier and down to earth, like the actual Marvel comics are. Let Blade show blood, shit like that. Because I think these stories are really, really good. And while these are a little bit more on the cartoony side, and Galacta's always narrating over them, I don't know. I think a much grittier version of these stories would go so hard in any form of adaptation because if you spend more time with the characters, they kind of go through it really fast, but spend more time with the characters, with each squad in particular, because the stories are good, the games are good. Like in the Eternal Night season, it's New York vampires season 1. That's it. There's this whole side plot where Doctor Strange and Khonshu were fighting in the astral plane over the Darkhold for part of it. Like, that's insane. That's cool. We could have gotten an entire comic book dedicated to that, but we kind of didn't. It's never elaborated on in any way outside of the in game lore. And I hate to be the one to say it, but I don't think most people are reading that. I read it when my favorite characters are there, but I don't read all of them. And I think people would be more willing to read a comic book about it, to watch a TV show about it. Or, I don't know, I just think it'd be really good. And I kind of really want it because these stories are good. And, like I told you, I read the Captain America one. You could genuinely have 1 or 2 comic books like Iron Man Marvel Rivals, and it's just his stories. One comic book per in-game story, and they come out a month or 2 after the story in the game comes out. So that way, like, it's in the game first, and then you get it to encourage people to read it there, but you also get it elsewhere. Like, I don't know. I really like the idea. I think it'd be great. Let me know what you guys think, obviously. And that's about it from me today. Have a great day. What will I? And we're gonna sit here in silence until it hits 5 minutes. I'm gonna silence the server.